Okay, so we should be good to go now. Hello, once again, my name is Martín Hernandez. I'm the Professional Development Programs Associate with the Los Angeles County Department of Arts and Culture. Yes, it's a really long title, but it is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you all today to talk about the LA County Arts Internship Program for 2021. Before I get started, I want to just take a second to give a shout out to Elise, my wonderful contact at West LA. This would not be possible without her and the support of the Career Center for getting you all here and pumping out information about this event. We really appreciate you being here and all of your support in getting this event going. So again, hopefully you're looking for a presentation about the 2021 LA County Arts Internship Program. And I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the mission of the program. So 2021 is actually the 21st anniversary of the program. So this program has been around for over 20 years now. And it got its start, actually, we give all the credit to the Getty Foundation. They run a program called the Getty Merrill Multicultural Undergraduate Internship Program. And it's a very similar program, but that program gives internships for students that are interested in internships at museums and visual arts institutions. So that's what the Getty program funds. And so in the year 2000, the Board of Supervisors for LA County at the time looked at that program and said, okay, the Getty's funding museums and visual arts institutions. What about everybody else? What about dance? What about music? What about theater? What about film and digital media? Don't those folks deserve internships as well? And so our program was born. So one thing to just note is that, you know, and you'll see the mission statement here on your screen. I won't repeat it, but you can kind of get a sense of what the program is all about. But one of the things that I really appreciate about the program is if you're looking to get involved in the arts, especially the arts nonprofit sector in Los Angeles, this is the program for you. I cannot stress enough how great this program is for getting your foot in the door, especially in the arts nonprofit sector in Los Angeles County. But that's not our only focus. We see this program as an opportunity for folks to become engaged in a number of different ways in the arts. Maybe you just learn about an arts organization through your internship that you didn't know about before, and you participate in their programs and attend their events. Maybe you become a board member or a volunteer for one of these organizations later on. So like I said, if you're really looking to get your feet wet and understand the arts and culture landscape in Los Angeles County, this is the program for you. But there's multiple ways to get involved and multiple ways to kind of take this internship. And we're really proud of that and think that all of those things are equally important. So for the 2021 cohort, just to kind of drill down into what to expect a little bit this summer, or this year, excuse me, this is an internship program of 228 internships. So it's not small. It's actually the largest paid arts internship program in the country. So this is not 10, it's not 12, it's not 15, it's not 20, it's 228 different internships that are hosted across LA County. And that number has grown over the past couple of years. Actually, when I joined the county in 2018, we were administrating 179 internships. So the program has continued to grow. While there's a lot of competition, as you can imagine, for those 228 slots for students, there's also a lot of competition amongst organizations to host you all as interns. And so this year we had 151 unique organizations apply to be a part of the program, meaning we had 151 organizations that said, hey, we want to host interns, please send them to us. And of those 151, 144 organizations were actually awarded interns. So we're going to talk more about those organizations in a minute. But of the pool this year, marketing and arts education internships have the largest number of positions. So what that means is of the 228 positions, marketing and arts education are the most requested positions for students in the pool. And this is actually the second year that this has been the case. When I talk about marketing, for a lot of positions, not all of them, but a decent number of them, they're social media positions. So you all know there's the Instagram, there's the TikTok, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's Facebook, there's all of these things, right? And a lot of our organizations realize that the best people to be in charge of social media for their organizations are younger people, right? And folks that are in college. So That's what a lot of the marketing positions, not all of them, but a lot of them are more towards like social media storytelling. And then arts education positions are actually positions that are working directly with students. So if you're looking to kind of get that experience around how to administrate arts programs for students and students in schools, again, this is a great program and a great has a lot of potential for you. So I'm going to talk about eligibility because I try to talk about this early on because this is where I think about the time where people go, okay, Martin, this sounds like a really cool program, but it sounds too good to be true. There's no way that I could be qualified for a program like this. And I'm here to tell you that you are. And when I go through this eligibility, my hope is that you will see it's not a very long list. We try not to make it very complicated. The goal is that this program is open to as many students as possible. And really the focus of this program is specifically for undergraduate students. So you're gonna see some of that language throughout in just a minute. So interns must, on the left side of the slide here, interns must be currently enrolled undergraduates at either a 4-year or community college. So congratulations. If you're enrolled at West LA, which I assume you are by virtue of being on this call, then you are checking that first box. You're enrolled at an undergraduate institution, a community college. Folks that are graduating between May 1st, excuse me, graduating or transferring between May 1st and December 31st of 2021, you are also eligible. And actually a lot of our organizations, sometimes they look for students that are about to graduate or who have just graduated because they want to hire people. So they see, okay, well, this person graduated in May, they're going to be able to work full time and maybe we'll be able to offer them some kind of position afterwards, right? So if you just recently graduated or you're about to transfer to a 4-year institution, you are still eligible. In addition to being currently enrolled, or recently graduated, you must reside in or attend school in LA County. So by being enrolled at West LA, you kind of check both of those boxes because the school is within LA County and you most likely live within LA County. But if you happen to live outside of LA County, but you go to school within, let's say West LA, then you're eligible. So for example, maybe there's a student who attends USC, but is from New York. They would be eligible because they attend USC, which is in LA County. Let's say that you are from Culver City, but you go to school in New York. You're eligible because you live in Culver City. So it's one or the other. And like I said, for folks that are enrolled at the community colleges, you don't even have to think about it. West LA is within LA County, you're good to go. And last but not least, you must possess right to work documents. And that's because many of our organizations are hiring for staff members. And so you do have to be able to work within the United States in order to do that. If you are an international student and West LA is able to help you get a work permit or a work visa, then we have had that be successful in the past. That's something that you'll have to work out with your school and with your organization if you're offered an internship. We have accepted work visas. That is something that's allowable. So just something to keep in mind if you are an international student or you know an international student who might be interested. So that's what you must have. If you have all of those things, here are some things that might disqualify you, even if you have some of those, if you have all of the other eligibility pieces. The first is you cannot have had a prior bachelor's or a higher degree, master's, PhD, or JD. And this is important because we know that sometimes folks come back to the community colleges later on in life to kind of, study something new and take on a new educational endeavor, and we totally respect that. But this program is specifically for undergraduate students, so students who have not had a degree. That's who we're really trying to target as a part of this program. You can also have not participated in this program before, and I know that that can be kind of disheartening to hear at first, but it's actually for the interns. We know our organizations, they would hire the same intern every year, year after year, if they could. So by keeping it so that only an intern can only apply once, it makes sure that there's more opportunities for more students in the County of Los Angeles to participate. And then these last two pieces are actually because of feedback we've gotten from students, particularly at the community colleges, around nepotism and how oftentimes programs and opportunities in the arts can feel really exclusive. It can feel that like you have to know somebody, or you have to know somebody who knows somebody in order to get something. And so we actually prohibit students who have been previous staff members of the organization or relatives of staff or board members of those organizations from applying for internships at those organizations. So they can apply to other organizations, but it would not be allowable, let's say, for an executive director of Martine's art school, so for me, to hire my child or my cousin or my whatever, right? Those individuals can apply to other organizations, but they cannot apply directly to the organization that they have that affiliation with. This notice anything missing piece down at the bottom is really just here to say that one thing you might notice that's missing is we don't actually require a major in the arts in order to participate. Obviously, that can be helpful for certain organizations. They might be looking for folks that have a little bit of experience in one thing or another, but it's not a requirement of this program that you be majoring in the arts. So we have a lot of business majors, we have a lot of communication majors, we have a lot of English majors that are applying these days, and that's totally fine. Again, the arts experience can be helpful, but it's not required as part of the program. So I'm going to talk about organizations in just a minute. If you all wouldn't mind, if you want to, I would love to kind of see what some of the majors are in the chat. So if you want to just jump into the chat and let me know what you're majoring in, that would be great. Just so I can kind of get a sense. So in terms of our host organizations, these are all nonprofits, so that they have their 501c3 tax exempt status. They've been nonprofits for at least 2 years, and they fall into a number of categories. So performing arts, presenting arts, literary arts, film and digital media, municipal arts agencies, as well as social justice and social service organizations. So those are the types of organizations that can apply to be a part of this program, which is where you would be doing your internships. So most of these are self-explanatory, but I want to highlight municipal arts agencies. So for example, so municipal arts agencies are city departments within LA County that have their own arts departments. They're actually able to apply to us to host interns so that they can, host an intern to work on programming. So what do I mean by that? The city of Culver City, for example, is one of our grantees. They have an arts and culture department within the city of Culver City, and they apply to us for an internship to help support their work. So there's also the city of Long Beach, city of West Hollywood, city of Torrance, city of Southgate. There's a number of city of Glendale. There's a number of cities within Los Angeles that do arts programming that also apply to this program. Social justice and social service organizations, these are actually new. These are non-arts nonprofits. So they're nonprofits that do social justice and social service work that's not solely arts-based. And they've been able to apply to us to receive internships to do arts programming within their organization. So that's a lot of words. I'm going to give you an example. One of our grantees is the Alzheimer's Association of Los Angeles, Greater Los Angeles. And as you know, they're not an arts organization, right? They serve and they do a lot of advocacy around folks living with Alzheimer's in LA County. They do a lot of outreach to try to help families who are caretaking for folks with Alzheimer's about how to, connect to resources and all of those things. They're a grantee of this program because they run a program called Memory in the Making, and it's an arts therapy program for individuals that are living with Alzheimer's. And the intern from our program that works with Alzheimer's LA actually helps them run that program. So there's a lot of really cool opportunities to see the arts being utilized in non-arts organizations, if that's your thing. Jumping into this chat, I love it. I'm seeing tons of child development folks. So arts education positions, I cannot recommend those enough. Take a look at arts education positions for my child development folks, because there's a lot of great opportunities in terms of working with students. Film and television or media arts, communication, great. Psychology, environmental studies, animal science, what up? Love that. More communications, architectural design, graphic design, administration of justice, undeclared cinema and television, love it. Wonderful representation, definitely something for everybody that's in this chat in our internship pool, so make sure you take a look. All of the nonprofits are based in LA County. That means that they have to have an office in LA County and their main programming has to be in LA County, so just keep that in mind. So checking right along here, let's talk about timeline. And this is a very important slide. If you want to screenshot it or hold on to it, this would be the one to do. So we are on this timeline, we're about here somewhere. So what this means is that as of April 1st, our positions, our program began recruitment. So on April 1st, the first batch of position was launched to our website. And we're going to talk more about that position launch in just a minute down over here. The earliest an intern can begin work is May 31st, 2021. So basically what's happening right now is we're in a recruitment period. Organizations are starting to get applications, they're starting to get resumes from folks. And they're going to start looking at resumes, they're going to start scheduling interviews, they're going to start making offers so that the first batch of interns can really get their start on May 31st, 2021. After May 31st is really when the program starts to move forward with some of the programmatic pieces. So we'll start our peer groups. I'm going to talk about those in a minute. Art Summit's going to happen in September. The important thing to note here is that all internships must end by March 1st of 2022. So no matter when you start your internship, no matter when you get hired, that is your cutoff date. So all internships must wrap up by March 1st of next year. So that's really important for you to keep in mind as an intern. It's going to be really important for the organization to keep in mind because they have to make sure that you're working enough hours to keep you on track so that by March 1st, you use up all of the hours and get paid all of the money that they owe you for the total internship. So let's dive deeper a little bit into position launch. So www.lacountyarts.org/internships. This is the website. This is where you want to go. This is going to take you to the main internship page where you can find all of this information about the program as well as the positions that you can apply for. There are 5 launch dates for 2021. The first has already passed on April 1st. That was when the first batch of positions went live on our website. If you go to our website right now, those are the positions that you're going to see. The next launch date is May 3rd. So a little bit of intel. April 1st was the largest position launch. There was over 110 positions that got launched on our website on April 1st. What I will tell you all for being here as part of our presentation today is that May 3rd is the second biggest launch with over 70 new positions getting posted on that date. So I don't want you to feel like you've missed the boat. The April positions are still live on our website. You should if there's some that you're interested in applying to, go right ahead, rocket off those applications as soon as you can. But if you would rather wait and kind of, take the time to get yourself together, get that resume and all that stuff together, the next date you're looking out for is May 3rd. And like I said, that's the second batch of positions, just over 70 positions that will be launched on that day. June, July, and August, there will be additional positions launched to our website. Those are much smaller batches. I think by the time we get to August, I'm posting maybe like less than 10 positions on the website in August. So April, May, that's when the majority of them are going live. So when you go to our website and you click into a position, you're going to notice a number of fields. Each of the job postings will have these fields. So brief organization description, a position description about what the position is actually going to do and what they're expecting the intern to do, qualifications, so what they're looking for in terms of prospective interns, what skills they might want you to have, what kind of background they might want you to have, and then most importantly, these last 2 notes, the work period and schedule, as well as how to apply. So I'm actually going to exit out of this for a second and show you what I mean. So this is the internship website. This is the county website. And if you go to the link that I showed you earlier, www.lacountyarts.org/internships, is going to take you to this main page that has all this information about the program. And you're going to click over here into the 2021 internships page. And this is going to pull up a list of all of the positions that have been posted thus far in the program. And as I mentioned, all of the positions you're looking at so far are for the April 1st launch date. So on May 3rd, I'll be adding another 70 positions and then a couple more on the 1st of the month for a couple months after that. So let's pop into, I wish Culver City was here, but they're posting later. So let's pop into Let's pop into Beyond Baroque over in Venice, Literary Arts Center, wonderful bookstore, literary spoken word outlet venue. They're a great organization. So this is what a position posting looks like. So you're going to have their address. You're going to have their website, which is very important. Remember that for later. The status, open or closed. Open means that they're still accepting applications. The description, which is what the intern is actually going to be doing. So this is the publicity and marketing intern. They're saying that this internship will involve a 15 to 20 hour weekly commitment from June 1st to December 1st, 2021. Then it's going to talk about qualifications. This intern should have a basic knowledge of how to interface with most social media platforms. Besides that, the position is meant to be a learning experience. So naturally, we don't require interns to possess the skills involved before they learn them. What? How awesome is that? They're basically telling you that we will help you learn as an intern, right? We're not expecting you to have all of this knowledge. We will help you learn. That's the qualifications. Then a background. This is where they're talking a little bit about their organization and what they do, the community that they serve. And last, but certainly not least, the how to apply section. Please submit a resume and cover letter to our operations manager at jimmy@beyondbaroque.org. So each one of these sections for all of these positions postings will look different. And it's very, very important that you follow the instructions of the how to apply section for each individual position that you're applying to. Don't just assume that you're going to send a resume and cover letter to everybody, because that's not what everybody is looking for. Everybody's qualifications will be different. Everybody's description will be different. And most importantly, everybody's schedule will be different. So you're going to be looking out for every job posting has a sentence like this. This internship will involve a 15 to 20-hour weekly commitment from June 1st to December 1st. Some organizations are looking for 40 hours a week. Some are looking for 20 hours a week. Some are looking to start an internship in August and end it in March. Some are looking, this one is June to December. So it's really important that you are looking at and applying for positions that you can actually do that fit with your schedule, whether you have school or another job to think about. It's really, really important that you're doing the work of looking at that information ahead of time before you apply, so that you're only submitting applications to what you can actually work and support. So let's talk about the.
I want to jump in for a
Please.
second, if it's okay. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. It's Elise. I just want to let you guys know, first of all, the last intern that got something through this program at West had on his resume, I sell shoes. Like, that was really it. And he got the internship. So don't worry if your work experience is minimal. And the second thing I wanted to say was, if you want any help at all writing your cover letter, or you want to send me your stuff beforehand and have me look it over before you send it on to apply for the job, please take advantage of me. I've had so many arts jobs, and I really do know what they're looking for, and I can kind of help you craft your stuff. Okay, I'm jumping off. All right.
Thank you, Elise. That I can't tell you all enough. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful resource. And it's really awesome that Elise is willing to do that for you all. And please take advantage of that. I know it can be hard. I know it can be scary, but sometimes you spend so much time in your own resume and your own cover letter that you don't. I remember one time I saw a kid's resume that I was helping him work on, and he spelled his own name wrong and he didn't see it because it's just stressful, right? So take advantage of that if you can. So just quickly jumping into the actual internship itself, show me the money, right? This is important. That's why we're all here. We know it's important for you all to get paid. It's why we fight to make sure that this is a paid opportunity for students. So what does that mean? It's a 400-hour internship at $15 an hour, which equals about $6,000 for your time in the program. I just want to point out that a lot of our organizations will hire you on as staff, meaning as employees, meaning that you will have payroll taxes pulled out of this amount, but it is $15 an hour for 400 hours for all interns. That does not vary. One internship does not pay more than another internship as part of the program. In the event that you have to drive or you need to park on site and that would cost money, the expectation is that the organization will pay you more money on top of that to reimburse you. But I'll tell you right now, a lot of our organizations avoid trying to have interns drive or pay for parking. That's just something that they try to avoid as part of the program. Every internship duty will vary based on position. So even if you see two education positions, let's just say you see, let's say you go to the website and you see one organization is looking for an education intern and another organization is looking for an education intern. Just because they have the same titles does not mean that you will be doing the same thing. Every organization is different. So just keep that in mind as you're applying. Um, and as I mentioned, the positions listed on our website will have a description of, as well as an outline of duties. Ultimately, be prepared to try new things and build new skills. You might be brought in, brought in as a production intern or as an education intern, but as I'm sure Elise will tell you, sometimes you just got to do this and you got to do that and you got to jump in and try something new that maybe you weren't expecting to do. That's just the nature of what a lot of this looks like, especially with COVID, guys. I got to be honest, a lot of our arts organizations have been really slammed by COVID, and things are changing rapidly. The county just released yesterday, for example, guidelines about how to have indoor performances safely. So a lot of our organizations that were not able to do that are now thinking about how to do that, and that might kind of impact your internship for the coming 2021 year. So just be prepared. You might be coming in to do one thing, but something happens, something changes, and you get pulled into something else. Take it as an opportunity to learn. So in the era of COVID, and Elise will know, um, this program got rocked by COVID in 2020. I'm not going to lie. We had to completely scrap the program and build it from scratch after pausing it for a couple of months till we could figure out what was going to happen for all of our grantees. But all of the things that we put into place in 2020 to kind of navigate the pandemic, we are keeping for 2021. And this program actually used to be a summer program only. That's what Elise knows it as, and what many people know it as just a summer program. So now that interns can work all the way through March of next year, that's actually very new. We've never done that before in the 20 years of the program, history of the program. So in terms of COVID impact, eligibility is the same. So what do I mean by that? Doesn't necessarily impact too many community college students oftentimes, but for example, I had a student who was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who was going to school at USC. He did his internship remotely at home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, because he was eligible by attending USC, even though he was not physically in Los Angeles. So kind of crazy to think about, but we kept eligibility the same no matter where you're physically located. Internships will most likely happen remotely. So through Zoom, working with your organization through a number of projects. Each position on our website will detail the hours per week as well as start and end dates. I already covered that. So most importantly, if you take away one thing from me from this workshop, it's this. You must be prepared to discuss your school schedule and other commitments with your organizations during the interview process. It is not a secret, y'all, that you are in school during a pandemic trying to figure out how to stay safe, but attend classes. Maybe you're working another job. Maybe you have family responsibilities. Maybe you have kids that you have to take care of. There's a lot going on. All we are asking you to do is be open and honest with your organizations during the interview process about what that might look like. Because a lot of our organizations want to be flexible. They want to work with you on things. So don't think that by telling somebody, hey, I'm going to go back to school in August, so we're going to have to change my schedule. I can maybe I can work full time during the summer because I'm not taking summer classes, but in the fall, I'm going to go back to school. And so I'm going to need to adjust my schedule. It's much better to have that conversation during the interview process than it is to hold that information, wait until you get the job offer, and then be like, surprise, I'm going to school in August, so this 40-hour-a-week thing is going to have to change. Just be honest with your organization, guys. It's really, really important. And then a note here down at the bottom, I'm having PTSD a little bit from 2020 program, but there is a likelihood that interns could return to site at some point, meaning that we would be able to tell organizations, okay, if you have an intern working remotely, you can try to bring them on site as long as it's safe and there are COVID protocols and all of that stuff. But we're not there yet. And in the event that we do that, I will have to send very clear instructions to all of our grantees about how to do that. And I just want to emphasize that we are a county department. We are a sister department to the Department of Public Health, who is currently running the show, right? They're telling us what we can do, what we can't do, what's safe, how to do things safely. So we have to follow them. And then we expect our grantees to follow that as well. So whatever we end up doing, it will be in alignment with Department of Public Health guidelines. And we want to make sure that everybody is staying safe, not only the interns, but our organizations as well. And so that is very, very important to us. Final slide here before I jump into the next piece. In addition to your internship, we have what we call educational components, and they take there's two types of educational components. So the first is Art Summit. This is a virtual event that will probably happen in September. That's an opportunity for us to just celebrate you all as interns and being able to get these internships and work them for the year. And we also use it as an opportunity to invite local artists and speakers to share about their work and the larger arts and culture landscape in Los Angeles. So what you're seeing on the left-hand side of the screen here is actually our virtual flyer from the 2020 Virtual Art Summit event. And we were lucky enough to have D-Smoke as our keynote speaker. You might be familiar with him. He's a rapper and musician and community leader in Los Angeles. He actually won Netflix's rap competition show, Rhythm and Flow, hosted by Cardi B. And he has built a long career on supporting young folks in South Los Angeles, teaching rap and also other musical art forms. And our interns got to have a Q&A with him and got to hear from him and his work. And it was a really wonderful event. We also had a number of other performances, spoken word, music, musicians perform. So it ends up being a really fun event. The second bucket of educational components are peer groups. And these are virtual events that will happen once or twice a month. And these are just small group settings where you can kind of meet other interns, you can network with people, you can have conversations with arts and culture professionals. They all look different. There'll be 9 of them next year or this year, all happening once or twice a month. So, we hope that you'll be able to drop in and attend these events. Both Art Summit and peer groups are considered part of your intern work hours. So if you attend Art Summit or you attend peer groups, you will be paid as part of your internship for attending. So hopefully that's incentive enough to come, besides the fact that they end up being really cool events and just something that kind of complements your internship, right? We know that you're working a lot, but we also want to make sure that you have time to kind of sit, reflect, think about your internship, and get a chance to meet other interns. So I'm going to pull up a video because I've done a lot of talking about the program, but I think it's really important for you all to hear from some former interns talk about their experience in the program. Last year, because it was the 20th anniversary of the program, we were actually able to commission this video interviewing some former employees, some former interns from the program. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm pulling this up and hopefully it will work and not totally slow down my computer like it did earlier. So I'm gonna pull this up. The video is about 3 minutes long. It's actually an excerpt from a longer video, 10-minute video that's available on our website. But while this video is playing, what I'm gonna ask is if you have questions, I'm gonna do Q&A for the rest of our time together after this video. So if you have questions, I'm gonna ask that you go ahead and drop them in the chat now while the video is playing so that I can come back and answer those questions once the video is over. So I'm gonna hit play on the video and here we go. Drop those questions.
Art has always been such an important part of our lives. It's a reflection of our culture.
It teaches us about ourselves and our communities.
And it is an outlet during times of struggle and hardship.
Throughout the years, the program has been able to provide 2,200 students with entry points into the arts through paid internship opportunities throughout the county.
Interns participating in the program have logged in a combined 1 million hours.
The program has been resilient in helping to uplift the next generation of artists as they elevate the spirit of our community and provide hope for the future.
It's musicians that provide the soundtrack,
Filmmakers that tell the stories,
and artists that paint the better picture of tomorrow.
Initially, I applied for the internship. I saw, well, I can get paid during the summer doing what I love. And so I remember the first day, I'm just like, all right, what am I really getting myself involved in? But it was really one of the best experiences that opened up so much in my life. And without this internship program, I don't think I'll be where I am today. Being around this nonprofit, it allowed me to see the different roles that I could participate in that are never really talked about.
One clear obstacle was that I wasn't seeing other people who looked like me working in the arts as artists. The internship program was so cool because I got to meet so many other wide-eyed, like in college or just leaving college kids who wanted to also work in the arts and getting a little bit of a window of all these cool arts organizations.
it was as though they were pulling back the curtain and letting you see the inner workings of an arts institution. It was a great time to discover that there is a place for people like me in the arts management field, and that it was up to us to change and diversify it for future generations to come.
The ripple effects of this program can be felt across the region, with many interns remaining in the field, and some even going on to mentor future classes of interns.
The valuable experiences you'll have,
The lessons you'll learn.
And the network of colleagues and mentors that you will build will help propel you into the future.
Now it's your turn to begin your journey. Where will your art take you?
where will your art take you?
Where will your art take you?
All right, got a little bit of a inspirational music there at the end. I see questions, so I'm going to get to them while I'm speaking. Here is the email for the internship inbox. So please send questions. If you forget something or you think of something later, this is where you can shoot emails over to me. So let's jump into questions here. So did D-Smoke speak at the event? I didn't fully hear what he did. Yes, he spoke at the event. Like I said, interns got to chat with him. He talked a lot about what it was like to win Rhythm and Flow and hang out with Cardi B and all of that stuff. But he mostly talked about just the work that he's done in South LA for his community and teaching folks, young people in particular, how to rap and other musical disciplines. So he was really, really wonderful, dynamic. I was like on my computer screen just listening to him. Really, really awesome guy. And we were so grateful that he made the time to join us. Okay, so do we have to do 400 hours? How is that broken down Monday through Friday? Great question. Yes, you have to do 400 hours. So this is, organizations are looking for people who are committing to the 400-hour internship. If you don't feel like you can commit to a 400-hour internship this year, totally fine. The program has been around for 21 years. Hopefully we'll be around for at least 21 more. So if this is not a good year for you to do it, then don't worry about it. At least you know about the program and you can apply this year. But they are looking for folks that can do 400 hours of internship, not 200, not 350, 400 hours. In terms of how it's broken down, like I said earlier, every organization is determining what that looks like. So they're deciding their own schedule. And so they have, you can be working as low as 15 hours a week to up to 40 hours a week full time. It just depends. So when you're looking at our website and you're clicking into those positions, make sure you're paying attention to how many hours a week it's going to be working and the start month and the end month, and apply for ones that you can actually do and that work with your schedule. So if you can't do a 40-hour a week internship, then don't apply for that. Apply for something that has a little bit less hours per week. Most organizations are working Monday through Friday, but we do have some theater organizations that sometimes work nights and weekends just because of the nature of theater. So it really just depends. Again, you have to make sure you're paying attention to the website and each position posting and making sure that you're paying attention to what they're looking for. Can you repeat what you said earlier about child development? I think you mentioned some interns in that field. Yes. So I noticed there was a number of folks that are majoring in child development, which is awesome. As I mentioned at the top, the second most requested, or the second biggest type of internship, biggest is not the right word. There are a lot of positions in arts education, that's what we call it, in this program. And a lot of those positions are working directly with students, with young people. So I was just saying that if you're a child development major at West LA, you might want to look at some of those arts education positions because they might give you some time with students. Obviously, a lot of it is through Zoom right now, not necessarily in person. But again, things might change over the next couple of months. So if you're majoring in child development or you're interested in child development, I think arts education positions might be a really cool thing for you to look into, or education positions on the website. Next question, when the new positions drop in May, will the other ones likely be filled up, or is it 70 more internships in addition to the other ones? It's definitely 70 more positions in addition to the 110. What will happen is as positions fill up on the website, you'll see that on the right-hand side, a lot of them right now say open. When I get notified that a position has been closed and that there's no more, that they're not accepting any more applications, I mark that position closed on the website. So as long as it says open, go ahead and apply. To be honest, there's a lag between them letting me know when they've hired somebody and when they might actually stop looking at applications. So it's not foolproof. But if you see something on the website that says closed, don't apply to it. If you see something that says open, go ahead and apply to it because chances are they're still accepting applications. And then last question here, if we cannot do it this year, can we also try next year? 100% yes. Like I said, it's just as important that you all know about this program now, so that if this year doesn't work out, listen, there's a lot going on in the world. I'm sure you all are still dealing with, just like we are, how do I navigate school? Am I going to be on campus at West LA in the fall? Am I not? What's going on with my job? How do I keep my family safe? So maybe this is not the year to apply, and that's okay. Like I said, we've been around for 21 years. We hope to be around for at least 21 more. Our program cycle is pretty much the same every year. So around March, end of March, early April, that's when you're going to want to check our website and look for positions. So yes, if you don't think that this is a good year to apply, then don't rush yourself. Please plan to apply in another year. And I'll just note that let's say you apply to a couple of organizations this year, maybe you get some interviews, but you actually are not offered an internship, then apply next year as well. You only are knocked out of applying once you actually get an internship and do the internship. So even if you apply to a couple and you don't get anything, then that's okay. You can apply for next year. So these were all really wonderful questions. Just some notes of advice with our last couple minutes here, and then Elise, I'll invite you to jump in if there's anything you'd like me to expound upon or anything you'd like to share. Just as a rule of thumb, y'all, I suggest, typically I suggest about applying for anywhere to 3 to 5 positions. You really want to make sure that you are submitting an individual application, whether that's a cover letter and a resume or a portfolio or whatever. You want to make sure that you are sending in an individualized application to every single position that you are applying to. So what do I mean by that? What has a tendency to happen is a lot of interns will do their resume and cover letter, and they'll go to our website and they'll copy and paste the email addresses of all of the email addresses in the how to apply section of like 50 positions. And they'll say, hi, here's my application for your internship position. And they'll send it off. A lot of our organizations have been in this program for a very long time. Some of our organizations have been in this program since the start of the program 21 years ago. They can see from a mile away a resume and a cover letter that has just been copied and pasted. And a lot of times what happens is people will copy and paste the cover letter, but they'll forget to change the organization name, or they'll forget to change the staff name. So it ends up looking really bad, and those applications go in the trash. They're not even looked at. The other thing is a lot of our organizations know each other. They will cross-reference resumes. They'll send resumes to each other. So it doesn't look good if they send a resume to another organization and that organization goes, oh, we got the same resume, same cover letter from the same intern. Those are going to go in the trash. So I do not recommend applying for 10, 15, 20, 30 applications or organizations. I know that it can be tempting because of how many are out there. Pick 3 to 5, y'all, that you feel strongly about. and spend the time to make a cover letter, make a resume, or whatever they're asking for each one of those positions. Reach out to Elise, who has graciously offered to support you all. I know there are resources on West LA's campus through the Career Center that you can take advantage of. So please make sure that you're doing that, because there's a lot of competition for this program, and anything that you can do to make yourself stand out is really important. So last piece of news last piece here, and I save it for the end on purpose for those of you all that have made it this far. I'm going back to the arts internship page so that I can show you this. So this is the main internship page. Like I said, www.lacountyarts.org/internships is going to take you to this page. On this page, here's the longer video, by the way. This is a 10-minute video if you wanted to watch it. On this page, there's a blue bar that says opportunities for community college students. You click into that. There's some words here. Click learn more. On this website, on this webpage, you have a list of organizations that have stood up and said, we want to hire students from the community colleges. Period. We want to host students from the community colleges. Remember when I said earlier that the program has grown, that when I started at the county in 2018, we were managing a program of 179 internships. Now we're up to 228. The reason that the number has gone up and we're able to offer more internships is because the Board of Supervisors, our authorizers, have given us more money for this program. But that money came with very clear instructions. They said, we're going to give you more money for more internships, but we want to see more community college students participating in this program than they typically do. So in order to do that, we select organizations, and organizations volunteer, so it's a both. It's some organizations that we chose and other organizations that stood up and told us that, hey, they want to do this, that they want to host students from the community colleges. So this list is important because I know that as a community college student, sometimes it can feel a little scary to submit your application to something that other students from other schools are applying for. If it feels useful for you, look out for these organizations because they are looking specifically for community college students. The easy low-hanging fruit right here, and Elise knows this because they work with her every year, the city of Culver City. Literally, your neighbors in West LA are looking for a community college student. And I know Lee Lawler over there and the city of Culver City, they're an amazing person. They do amazing work. They are reaching out to West LA constantly to say, hey, we want to host a student from the community colleges in this position. So don't feel like you can only apply to these positions. Apply to any ones that you want, please. But if you think that it's helpful and it makes you feel a little bit better to apply to organizations that you know are looking for community college students, then these are the ones you're looking out for. I will say this is the total list. So if you're looking for an organization and they're not on our website currently, it's just because their position hasn't been posted yet. So keep checking the website. When they come up, you know that you can apply. And again, don't feel like you need to just apply to these organizations. Apply to as many as you want, any organization that you want. But these are the organizations that are specifically looking to hire from the community colleges. And so hopefully that's useful in your planning. Okay, Elise, how'd I do? Do you have any final thoughts or questions for me or anything you'd like me to expound upon?
I always get so inspired watching this presentation because it's so I was part of I had an internship when I was young, a paid internship just like this. It was one of the most important things that I ever did. I still use stuff that I learned 35 or 40 years ago or whenever it was today. So that's the first thing I want all you guys to know. It's a great opportunity. It really is. The second thing is, yes, City of Culver City wants to hire someone from West LA College. They always write to me and go, who's awesome, but they can write to me until they're blue in the face. But I can't give them anybody unless you get to work on your cover letter and your resume. And lots of times students put this off. They're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they don't. And send me something horrible. Send me something, that send me the thing that you threw together tonight. And let's start working on it for a week or 5 days or 6 days. Talk to me about which, organizations you want to apply to. I don't know if you saw that list, but it's great. There's theater companies and film support companies and a radio station, and they're all looking for community college students just like you. So if you're like, well, I'm not at UCLA and USC and no one's going to care about me because I'm just blah, and all I do is sell shoes, that would be wrong. They want you. They want to launch your career. They want to train you. They want to help you. And they want you to find out how awesome you are. Because you are awesome. So please take advantage of this opportunity. It's like the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing ever. And I say that as someone who had a job like this once upon a time too. So, okay, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Elise. Man, we got to get you on payroll for that speech. Thank you for that. And yes, I did just look, FYI, City of Culver City's position is going to go live May 3rd. So again, just throwing it out there, City of Culver City is near West LA. Maybe folks feel comfortable because it's near where you live. So just throwing that out there. But again, don't feel like it's the only position you can apply for, or that, you shouldn't consider other ones. Please consider as many positions as you possibly can. Put in 3 to 5, like I said, 3 to 5, and take advantage of the resources that are being offered to you, whether it's Elise or, other resources on West LA's campus, so that you can submit the best application possible. Thank you all so much for making the time to be here. Again, thank you, Elise, and the other West LA staff that helped put this together, and get all the students out there. I'll be sending the recording soon, and I really look forward to hopefully seeing some of you all in the internship program for this coming cycle. We're really looking forward to it. Stay safe out there. Continue to look after yourself and look after your loved ones. And I hope that brighter days are on the horizon for all of us. Okay. Have a great rest of your week and weekend, and best of luck. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a good weekend.